Welcome back to another week of online school. Well, this week it's a beautiful day. It is cold. So before we start our lesson, I'd like to share a Bible verse with you. Now this verse, the background came from when Jesus was doing his ministry and he was super busy. Yet the news about him spread all the more, so that crowds of people came to hear him to be healed of their sicknesses. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Now, as we enter our third week of online school, I know you and your teachers and your parents are overwhelmed with all the work. But always remember to take time out to pray, just like Jesus did when he was very busy. Before we go into our lesson, let's take a look at what some of our friends did last week. So the first picture was done by Natalie. You can see that she has some really nice gradient shading with the pear and some really nice line on the candy in the middle of the candy. Now, however, the yellow is really hard to see, but I can tell that she really shaded along the rims to give it a darker, stronger yellow. Great job, Natalie. Next, we have Haley's. Now, Haley's did some really nice gradient shading. However, I think if she used the side of her color pencil more, then we would see less of the line. I wanted to show this picture because you did a really great job with taking a picture of your artwork. Next, we have Joshua's. Now, Joshua did some really nice solid colors, and it's really provide a really nice shape of the cups by outlining the cups. However, I feel this is kind of small, so make sure when you're working on today's lesson that you work a little bit larger. So, what are we going to do today? We are going to be drawing some still life. Now, whenever we deal with still life, we are thinking of different things that we can put on tables. So we are not drawing necessarily from our imagination. So we can't really put a plane on the table. So what I am looking for will be simple object. Object with simple shapes like orange or a cup, a pencil, an eraser. Now someone did dry mango last week, which is a really fun idea. However, it's really difficult for us to tell as the viewer if that's a piece of dry mango or a piece of eraser. So pick your object carefully, something that we can recognize with simple shapes. So I have chosen an orange, a red cup, as well as some Lego piece. Now you might ask, what happened to the candy? Well, my son ate the candy. It was my fault because I left it around. And I asked him, I said, hey, have you seen my candy? He said, oh, I ate it. And someone ate my pear as well. So that's why I am stuck with an orange, and I was being creative and I chose a piece of Lego. So we are going to pick three things. I have an orange, an apple, as well as a Lego. We are going to place those three things in front of each other to create depth. When we do that, just like the picture you're looking at now, you will see that the orange is right in the front. We see the whole orange. And the orange is covering part of the cup. And the cup is covering part of the Lego. So we don't see all the cups and we do not see all the Lego. So that is where you are going to draw from. We are going to draw from what you see. Here I have another picture of another composition, which is an orange, my cup, as well as the canned soup. Now, what is in the front? The orange. What is the furthest away? Probably the soup can or the cream corn. So we see the whole orange, which is right front and center, nice and round. Then we see part of the cup and part of the soup can. For this lesson, you are going to need a piece of A4 paper folded in half. You are just going to draw on half of the piece of paper and colored pencils. We're not going to use pencil. So you can practice, but we are going to draw our good picture with color pencils only. So watch the video for further instruction. I have also printed an instructional worksheet for you to follow along so you don't necessarily have to watch the video all the time. So keep on drawing. You guys are doing a great job. Give yourself a pat on the back and keep working, and don't forget to take time out for God. Before we begin our lesson today, let's take a look at what we did last week. You drew a cup, a fruit, a candy. So what does this look like if we were to put it in a still life? You would have a cup, and then I might have a pear behind the cup, which is right here, and a candy in front of the cup. So when we have our composition set out this way, you can see that we see partially the cup, part of it is covered by the candy, and the pear is covered by the cup. So this is how we create layers and distant. It is by covering things that are behind or further back. Let's take a look if we were to use the soup can. Here's my soup can, and let's use my cup. Let's have the cup in front like this. So my cup is in front of the soup can, so I can see the whole cup, the handle, the bottom, the top, even the inside. Then I will have my candy. Now, if I put my candy here, I will cover both the cup and the can. Or I can put it behind the can like this. So now I only see part of the candy. So you will be using your real object and creating a picture like this. But today, my expectation is for you to just draw the outline of your still life using color pencil, which I will demonstrate. For today's still life, I have an orange, since someone ate my pear. I have a different color cup, love is selfless. And since my son ate my candy, I have replaced it with with 3 Lego bricks. So, to begin with, we will look at our picture and determine what is in the front. So in my picture, I have my orange. Now remember, we're only drawing half of your of an A4 paper. So once you have your A4 paper, fold it in half. So it's not as overwhelming. But it is important for you to fill the page. So your whole composition, your still life, should take up most of the space. So my orange is the biggest. It takes up most of the space. So I'm going to make it really big. Now remember, we're using color pencil. It's okay if you make a little mistake. Just draw lightly. That way, if you make a mistake, and you can go over it and it won't be as obvious. So my orange, then next I'm gonna draw my cup. Now you can give yourself a little marking to help you know where you end and where you start. So there's my cup, and the bottom of my cup is right about here. So remember, when we're drawing the cup last week, we did an oval at the top. Here it is. Last week my cup was tapered, but this week my cup goes straight down. So I'm gonna go straight down. Now remember, the cup is behind the orange. So we don't see this side, this part of the cup, but you can have to imagine what is behind, what shape, because it will help you follow the contour line here. So if I imagine the end would be right here, and then I'm gonna have a contour line going like this, there. So that is what it will look like. And then I'm gonna draw my handle, which is almost to the end, maybe 2/3 of the orange. So like this, there we go. There's my cup. Lastly, we're gonna do my Lego. So my Lego is about a third way up from the cup. I'm gonna go across, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go across to refer to the first layer of the Lego bricks. Then I'm gonna use my blue and I'm gonna go up. That's my second layer. Give myself a little mark and my third one. There it is. Okay, here it goes. So it's about this far in. And then this is about this far in. And I'm going to give it some perspective because this is oval. I'm going to little parallelogram down here that touches. Now here I have another a diagonal line to represent the side of the brick. And here again, going across. Then I'm gonna go down, think about this part here. Oh, my blue, go down to the yellow. Then I have my yellow here, touching the back side. Boop. And this is where they connect. Oh, this will be a blue line. And here's my little circles on the Lego, but they are more oval because of the perspective. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit of details. I know I asked you not to shade, but for example, I'll look at my orange because, you know, who knows if my orange will be here next week. That's why I asked you to take a picture of it. And I also have, now I have the word love is selfless on my cup. I probably won't write directly on it. I would probably want to practice on a piece of paper first so that I get it right. Or I can simplify the design by just writing the word love. I think that would be okay. So that is something for you to think about. So this is what I am looking for at the end of this lesson. A composition, a picture of your composition, as well as the drawing of your still life. So 2 pictures on Seesaw. If you have any question, please send me an email. When you post on Seesaw, I will try my very best to give you some comment and feedback. As well, I am preparing a worksheet for you so you can print it out and it tells you what you need to do to complete the assignment. If you have any question, please feel free to email me. Thank you.